All right. Hey, everybody. Just getting set up here. Thank you for joining into today's Kickstarter Kickstarter presentation on where to begin my digital transformation. My name is Sean Achimpong, and I'm the CEO and digital transformation specialist. Just going to share my screen here, and we're going to jump right in. Just pop that on. There we go. Okay. All right, and I'll put up the presentation. All right, so let's jump right into it. So, where to begin our digital transformation? Um, as prompted, next week we have a very exciting class on. It's a week-long course on digital transformation on a budget. But prior to jumping right into the meat and potatoes, I thought to take 15 minutes of your time to tell you about where to begin. Often in the office workplace, there's a myriad of things that are working well and opportunities to improve, be it having documents managed in a variety of different repositories or a very manual process where we might be manually sharing a document or a file with a coworker, or you have to sign a document, you get print it only to sign it and rescan it afterwards. So there's a myriad of situations in the office place that can be adjusted, can save us time, can save us money. And today's session is all about taking all of those really good ideas and funneling them down into an easy, simple method to prioritize and get started with your digital transformation today. All right, so let's jump forward here. So a little bit about myself. First, my name again is Sean Achimpong. I'm the founder of Tumii Transformations. I've been in records and information management for the past 20 years, and as a product of that or an outcome of my work in this field, it has always brought about transformation of a team, a company, a department, and a company at large. You start with making manual or paper-based records centrally managed and accessible to the team. Next thing that happens is transformation in their business processes and how they interact with this content, or this how this content interacts with other systems. Other byproduct of that is simplification of their process and eventually a change in the overall culture. So, categorically speaking, the management of information brings about through it the transformation of the organization. Simpler processes, simpler ways of doing business, and an enthusiastic culture. I've been able and fortunate to provide these services to governments, to energy sector, retail, engineering, financial banking, and police. Fortune 500 type organizations, 80,000, 50,000, etc. Solutions I've developed are centered around the management of information and document records management, simplifying business processes, automating them, and unique things like scanning documents, and extracting the information from those documents and putting them into one or many systems, all within the click of the button without having to rekey. So that's my experience in a nutshell. Um, as a result of these transformations and these solutions, it's helped organizations save hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. I've seen adoption 50,000 plus enterprise wide across large organizations. I've personally trained over 2,500 people and been part of migrating millions of documents and records to centralized online platforms. Of those platforms, we have IBM FileNet Solutions, OpenText Content Server, LiveLink for some, and of course SharePoint and Office 365. So I've had quite a few Office 365 SharePoint solutions over the past few years. My background, my degree, and everything is in technology and information systems. But since that time, I've really explored the world of content management, information management, change management, as well as Lean Six Sigma process design. I'm also an agile Scrum Master, so I've learned how to take both a waterfall approach to implementing changes in the company by way of a project, as well as doing it agile, so making incremental changes or producing a product every couple of weeks that can be iterated and improved upon. So that's me in a nutshell, and I'm bursting with enthusiasm, experience, and a lot of wins that I want to share with you over the course of this journey to help organizations move forward. And you don't have to break the bank to to start your digital transformation today. All right. All right, so more about the course. Today is a special Kickstarter. We're going to look at where to begin your digital transformation. Into next week, we're going to start to break down into specific topics. First, starting with document and records management. If you find yourself having documents stored in filing cabinets, shared drives, your desktop, um, copies floating all over the place, email attachments. It can become an absolute nightmare. And we're going to look at how to centralize and simplify the management of information and make it accessible to everyone, regardless of how they're working desktop, laptop, their phone, an iPad. Um, make all that information well managed, simplified, organized, and accessible regardless of medium or the channel. Uh, on Tuesday next week, we're going to look at process simplification, how to take our core business processes and remove something called waste. So when I'm talking about waste, I'm talking about rework. Something is done and you have to rework it. Waiting for other team members, not utilizing skills on the team that can help move the company forward. We're going to break down all of the areas of waste and how to spot them in your day-to-day business processes so that you can take action and fix them today. On the Wednesday, we're going to talk about change management. Have you ever been in a scenario where you've implemented a new policy, a new process, or a new technology, and only 20% of the company is using it? Why is that? Probably a myriad of reasons. And we're going to dig deep into what makes people resist or make them feel uncomfortable about the new technology, about the new process or new policy. And we're going to show the tactics and methods to support people through change, regardless of age, regardless of skill level. Everybody can move forward. And we're going to show you a very simple approach to ensure that you're moving the whole organization forward in a new way of working. With all these learnings, we're going to break it down and look at technology specifically, Microsoft 365. Um, and I'm going to show you that by way of a case study, a project that we recently worked on, where there was a purchase order review process that went through multiple um, sections of the organization. And that review started with email, it went from C-level review into engineering reviews um, across multiple teams, and then eventually a few other team members would be keying in the data. And in the short case, in the long case, it or in their normal state was a couple of months before they review a PO. Um, and what we've done is we've taken a multi-month process and brought it down to a 3-day process using out-of-the-box techniques and features out of Microsoft 365 from Flow, SharePoint, Outlook, um, and Teams, creating a simplified world and moving the review, commenting, and tracking process to an online simplified experience. And finally, on Friday next week, August 14th, we're going to bring it all home. All these good learnings, all these packed in learnings that we're going to look at over the previous 4 days, these are all great and dandy, but can I fit them in my organization? Number one, and can I sustain it? And we're going to look at how to build transformation on an autopilot, how to take all of these learnings and build momentum and build not only a couple of good wins for the organization, but to make continuously improving part of the culture of the organization. So next week is a packed week. Sign up now, tumii.ca. We look forward to seeing you there. All right. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's jump into today's where to begin. So we're going to talk about what to start with, how to evaluate office wins, and how to prioritize and take action. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of really good ideas and a lot of good suggestions and a lot of complaints. We're going to learn how to funnel that into an organization or prioritization and take action and get started with your wins today. All right. So, common roadblocks. So, tell me if any of these ring true to you. We have documents in multiple different locations, from shared drive to OneDrive on our desktop, in email as attachments, file folders in our cabinets, SharePoint sites that we've had for many years that have been abandoned and we don't know what the documents are. We have documents, copies, duplicates everywhere. And then when you're looking for the documents, you can't find it because it's someone has the latest version in their email as an attachment or on their desktop and they haven't shared yet. Or, during vacation season in August now, they're on vacation and you can't access the file until they return to the office. Extremely frustrating. Um, that kind of disorganization of information leads to silos. Point number two here, where you have copies everywhere stored in multiple repositories. The only place that I trust is keeping it myself on my desktop. That's the mindset that encourages people to just keep the information of the company in their own personal repository, which begs copies, duplication, searching for information, and ultimately searching for problems. Next roadblock is, why does it take so long to do stuff? Why do I have to, if I have to sign a document, why do I need to print an electronic document, print it on paper, pull out my trusty pen, sign it, only to rescan again? Why do I have to manually rekey data that I'm receiving in a document into my system or into another spreadsheet to do calculations? Why can't that information just automatically go and put into another system or interface? Why am I manually sending documents and information from staff person to staff person when there's so much technology out there to automate that experience? So we're going to look at those roadblocks just like this. A couple of more for you. We have really, really strong software, be it O365, be it PeopleSoft, SAP, but we're only using it for the basics. Um, it has great reporting capabilities. It can merge and do all kinds of very elaborate calculations on our behalf. Why am I doing it manually? Is there something more I can learn from the software to elevate my game and reduce time, reduce cost, and get us to the finish line quicker? And finally, regarding changes in the office, we talk about changing, we talk about simplifying, but it's all talk. There's no sustained action. We might have one amazing couple of months where we do something really cool, and that's just the beginning of a whole variety of different things we can do moving forward to simplify and digitally transform our company. But there's no sustained action. So there's a lot of roadblocks that come up, and they hinder us from making progress. And at the end of the day, when it comes to serving clients, but then also increasing our overall efficiency, it boils down to, we don't have time for that, or we don't have money for that to make those changes. All right. So let's bring it back to benefits. And the source of understanding those benefits, I'm just highlighting here, improve speed, improve quality, time, and money. They all come as a result of suggestions or complaints, right? So let me give you a few examples. Why do we have to print a document only to sign it and rescan it? Can't we just sign electronically and save ourselves a lot of time? Or it takes too long for me to have to manually key in information that I'm seeing electronically only to have to put it into a system by manually rekeying it into another system. Um, why can we auto send this information? Why can we automate approvals? Why do we have duplicates of of the same documents everywhere? I can't find my latest version. You've heard all of these kind of complaints in the office, and those complaints are the real gold, the real opportunity to achieve benefits. So I have this box here with the light. You want to take those suggestions and complaints and funnel them in together. Create a listing of all those benefits, and so that you can align them with, yes, this suggestion will help us save money or improve satisfaction for our customers, or improve the morale of the team. Hey, we're making things easier and better internally, and we're performing smarter. Um, these benefits are rich source of information. It's just distilling down the sources in which they come from by way of suggestions and by way of complaints. All right. Now that you have all of these great ideas that have come together, By way of suggestions and by way of complaints, it's a matter of measuring them against criteria, right? So, of these great ideas, are they easy to implement? Is this something that we as a team can do? Is it reversible in case it doesn't work out in its first go? How long does it take? Is it like a 30 to 90-day implementation, or are we looking at a couple of years? Is this going to cost a lot of money, or is this something we can do with relative expense? And finally, do we have control of the outcome? Is this something we personally as a team can act on, or is it something that we'll have to coordinate with multiple other teams in the company? All right. So those are your 5 standard criteria to establish to evaluate the office win. And now, once you've evaluated both the benefits as well as your understanding of the criteria, I'm going to give you a visual here. So on my left side here, I have business and customer benefits. So how is benefiting us as a company, and how much benefit do we have? Is this idea going to have towards our customers? And at the bottom of the screen, I have an understanding of how to solve the problem. So is this something we know how to do, or we have no expertise in? You might have a really great idea that you don't really know how to take action on or solve as a team. So scenarios like that are just boiling the ocean. Yes, we can save world hunger, right? Um, it's a matter of understanding how to solve the problem. Um, you might have a really good idea or an idea that won't benefit anybody, and our understanding is relatively low. Then begs the question, why bother? The sweet spot you're really looking for is a good or high benefit to either the business or your customers, and a strong competency with how to solve the problem. And that is really your sweet spot. Once you find those ideas that you can take action on, will have a good benefit to the customer and a good understanding of how to solve the problem, you want to just do it. Those are the actions that you want to take. Those are the ideas that you want to take action on. All right. So, how to take all that information down and break it into a process. Step number one is you want to rank your ideas. So, you take your criteria for how to, your understanding of how to fix the problem, easy to implement, reversible, something can be done in 60 to 90 days, inexpensive, within the team's control, and align that with the overall benefit to the business or to the customer. It's going to save money, this is faster service, better quality, enthusiasm amongst the team, as well as customer satisfaction. Once you've evaluated and scored it, your next step is to rank it. Okay, so we have some that are scoring in the 8 to 10 range, some middle of the road 4 to 7, and then some others that are scoring low between 0 and 3. And once you've grouped your scores into a framework, and finally you want to then specify the priority sequence and the action you take. Um, Suggested model here: do now if it's scoring really high, do next if it's scoring middle, and do last if we're not quite sure of the benefit or not quite sure how to take action and resolve the win that we want to achieve. All right. All right. So as a team, what you want to do is brainstorm and compile all the good ideas that come together, and then evaluate your ideas. So on the left of my screen here, under ideas, I have a few samples. Provide team training on a software best practice or a technique that could help us save a lot of time. Updating a policy or procedure. Consolidate our documents from all these different sources and store them online, or even just focus on one collection. Just we want to focus on contracts. We have contracts in desktop and filing cabinets in the legal office. We want to pull all our contracts together and have one centralized repository for all of our contracts. And finally, automating a manual data entry process. So these are just a few ideas, right? And on the top right of my screen, I have my criteria again. Is this something easy to implement? Is it reversible? 60 to 90 days to implement? Is it inexpensive? And within the team's control. So once you have your evaluation spreadsheet there, then it's a matter of scoring them from which ones are easy to implement, reversible, 60 to 90 days, etc. All right. Let me take it one step further, and I'm going to show you an example. Okay. So I put together a very quick spreadsheet yesterday as a gift and offering to you to get started with prioritizing suggestions and ideas directly within your team. All right. So here's how it works. On my left column here, I have my ideas, and here are a few samples. The green section in the middle is my yes nos for all the benefits: saving money, is a faster service, better quality, staff enthusiasm, customer satisfaction. Here I have, is this something understanding of how to solve the problem? Is this something easy to implement, reversible, something we can do in a short period of time, 60 to 90 days, etc.? Is it cheap or expensive, and within the team's controls? And on the right here, I have some automatic scoring for you. So it calculates the benefits, calculates understanding, your overall scoring 1 to 10, and then sequence: do now, do later, do next, etc. All right. Next tabs in the spreadsheet, these are all calculations built on your behalf. Feel free to update and customize to your needs. Next tabs here is your listing. So simple pivot table that organizes it based on do now, do next, and do last. It automatically populates this for you. And then finally a graph for you. Here, let me zoom out to show you. Boop, boop. One more time. There we go. Okay. So a simple graph here to show you where all of the ideas plot on the map. So it dynamically updates once I change the ranking here. So I will scan all documents for money. Yes, we'll definitely save money. It will lead to faster service. People will be happy because it's online, and we can provide better service to our clients because now information is potentially accessible to them as a consumer. So let's bring my scoring right up. And this is something that is easy to implement and something we can do quickly and inexpensive if we use our existing scanners and spend a few hours a day. All right. So the scoring for that now is due now, and I will see it here by refreshing my screen. Hit analyze, refresh, and open her up. Okay. And my thing is not behaving well, which is all good. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to redo the filters right after this meeting and make sure you get the latest and greatest. And finally, the scoring is right here. It automatically replotted itself on your graph here. All right. So this template is just a quick sample for you to start taking your priorities, your ideas and suggestions, prioritizing them, and putting them into an action plan that the whole team can use. All right, so let's jump back into the presentation. Boop. Okay. So, a couple other things. When you're building these ideas and positioning yourself to take action, there's several things about it that can kill the momentum from ever taking off and implementing these great ideas. Number one, focusing too heavily on the details. Yes, there's a lot of nuance with taking a lot of contract information and storing it online. Do we have all the invoices and the payout information? Are we collecting all the correspondence? Are we recording the right metadata if we're thinking of putting it online? You want to have a high watermark of understanding when implementing Office Wins as a starter. And not digging too deep into details if you want to achieve something within 60 to 90 days, right? Um, you dig too deep into the details and you get into something called analysis paralysis. Quickly, that leads to not balancing between getting it right and getting it done. Recognize that these are two opposing drivers to each other. Some people will be very motivated to get a good win done, and some people will be motivated to get a good win right. Making sure that you're balancing both drivers will achieve an outcome. If these two drivers are in conflict, or some people are like, oh, we just get anything done, and some people are like, no, this thing looks terrible, we need to get it right. If you don't find a common ground, it will kill momentum in its tracks from implementing positive wins. Next item is reacting negatively to negativity. There is always going to be naysayers, always. that resist for one reason or another. Um, be it they feel that we've tried this in the past and it didn't work, or we're not getting the right level of support or sponsorship, or there's no time. There's always going to be this sentiment of it cannot be successful. It's a matter of harnessing that feedback and leveraging it to make improvement, but not taking it on as a negative, and not letting it derail you from your focus. And your focus is finding wins to get started with your digital transformation. Okay, jumping to conclusions. Oh, this will never work. You got to try it. Or if it didn't work the first time around, that's gold. Why didn't it work? And leverage that to do better the next time. You only make success by having unsuccessful outcomes. So jumping to conclusions without evidence will only hinder the momentum from building. Micromanaging, you got to let people be free to create, to explore, and to try something new within this paradigm here. And finally, not settling with good enough. And I put that 80% there on purpose. It might seem odd to say shoot for 80%, but I ask you to look in your office now. Look at the policies that were implemented, the processes that were simplified, supposedly simplified, and the new technology that was supposed to make sliced bread or just streamline our world or harmonize our operations, but we're only using it to a limited capacity. The bottom line is, with most implementations, 80% is a great place to start. And once your policy, technology, or process is implemented and it's gone to 80%, you improve it through continuous improvement. So refocusing our mindset to understand that 80% or good enough is an achievable spot that we can get to, and we'll learn more competencies, and we'll take what didn't go well with our implementation and improve it going forward. All of that is vital information. So there's certain things that are meant for a phase two, or for a parking lot, or for a continuous improvement type initiative. You got to be comfortable with settling with this will work for us, and this is a great landing spot for us to continue to build, continue to improve, and continue to get better. Okay, so avoid these speed traps, and to because ultimately they will kill your momentum from forming and getting into that really exciting uh, future of continually improving your digital transformation success. Okay? So, key takeaways. The juiciest ideas, the juiciest ideas come from complaints. Yes, suggestions are great, but in the complaints, that's when you really know those are the freewheeling, the the real the root cause of each of those complaints is some sort of benefit to somebody, even if it's to the individual personally. It takes too long. Why do I got to do this? Why do I have to work with that coworker? There's underlying factors there that are gold. Those are the ideas that will benefit employee satisfaction and working with each other, simpler processes, learning a new skill, achieving better customer satisfaction, saving money, saving time. The real juiciest ideas come from complaints. Second key takeaway is to start with one and build momentum. Yes, you may brainstorm as a team and come up with 30 amazing ideas. You have 30, that's great. Evaluate them and park them. Start with one. Get one win as a team and then build momentum from there. Okay? And make sure to celebrate each and every win, even if it benefits just a few people, or even if the team learns something through it, or it doesn't impact the organization at large. It's extremely important to celebrate each win, and be thankful for the progress we made as a team, because that will give us the confidence to keep going, and ultimately make wins a priority. Okay, point number four. And final point with that is you want to have a champion, someone who feels comfortable being bold, trying new ideas, or refreshing a team that's been stuck dormant and doing the same thing for a very, very long time, over many years or even decades. Finding a champion who's willing to stand up against the headwinds, or move the other way according against the water trickling behind you. You want a champion that will help steer, navigate the rough waters until it becomes part of culture and part of the DNA. Okay. All right. So that was a short 15 minutes on where to begin your digital transformation. It's all about taking those ideas, breaking them down, evaluating them based on benefit to the company and benefit to customers, as well as our ability to actually implement it, and then take seeking action from there. Just quickly again, we have an action-packed week where I'm going to be delving deep into managing documents and information in a simplified way, streamlining how processes are managed or deployed, and removing waste, redoing, rework, waiting, all of those factors that slow down our day to day and save us from saving money and saving time. Change management, how to get the whole organization motivated, excited, and on board with a change in policy, technology, procedure, process, or all of the above, right? We'll give a real world example using Office 365. Your one subscription can streamline and save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've lived it, I've built it, and I deploy these solutions on a weekly basis almost. And so I'm elated and excited to share with you one of the really critical wins that we've been able to achieve just recently, and how to take these wins, this new understanding of process, document change, and technology, and turn it into autopilot, building in a culture of continuous improvement where you're constantly looking to transform, simplify, and move your organization into the future. All right, cool. Next week's sessions are 1 hour a day at 12 p.m. Eastern. Still a couple of seats left. Just visit us on www.tumii.ca to sign up, and we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to having you. And that is 15 minutes. I'm going to have a good lunch. This has been a fun time with y'all. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.